Hello, checkers and pleasers, and welcome to Checkpoint, the show where we discuss and discern the most recent events of Check Please. Tonight we are discussing episode 52 with a very, very fun dinner we had in game. I am Keni, your host. This is Beardy, Screwy, Xeno, and Shane as our team for the night.
Did we discuss last week's episode?
We did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. We're caught up.
Cool.
Yeah.
So just today's episode is all we have to discuss.
Yes.
So
Yup.
we started today in the
Bar.
Pinterest Bathworks in the bar.
Yes.
As I believe Dawn was having a conversation with Saralai, the attendant / therapist. And she was talking about having some thoughts about her relationship with Stavik.
You know,
How do you? What, and then you listened in, Screwy. What did you think?
She has see the right words here. She has saying she has every right to have those feelings is presumptive that I have the right to even it's presumptive. Like, I'm not giving permission, obviously. It's just like, yeah. I'm glad she's having those. I'm glad she's having those feelings.
Are you?
Because, yeah, as a player, yeah.
Okay.
Because I want them. I want them to. I want them to be. If they're having second thoughts, that means they're having thoughts. They're having an opinion, and that is important.
She had an opinion before she was a human.
And that, yes, I understand, but she has. I want her to have an opinion, and I want her to voice it, and I hope she can voice it
She
to
does.
Stavik.
she does voice her opinions. She's frustrated and wants 5 babies.
She wants babies.
I'm just frustrated. Yeah, me too.
I was
Right.
happy with it.
Yeah, bravo. Credit where it's due. That was pretty good. That's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
I feel like she's expressed quite a bit of the things that she wants, to be frankly honest.
Yeah, I think she's been pretty straightforward about her needs and wants. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So she was having a conversation with this other person there, and Stavik, you listened in. So I guess my question is more like, what is Stavik's take on this?
Circle back on me. I'm still trying to figure
Okay.
that out.
All right.
I would like to say that originally, so we had the aromatherapist,
Yes.
like the episode prior, and I was like, I was thinking of making a joke about treating her like a therapist.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, there is a therapist.
They actually have an actual therapist, yes. But this therapist is also a companion.
Oh, it's all right. I mean,
Yeah.
A sex therapist. Okay.
I mean, potentially. But this is it's a full service bathworks. They have people here for everything.
Lots of different modalities of therapy.
Yeah, and mostly, to be fair, they are a talking therapist. That is what they do. They listen, they talk, they offer advice, and they help people through problems. They're just very calming to most folk. But yeah, hopefully you guys, you might get to know these characters a bit more. You might not. They all have like a pretty reasonable backstory to each of them, so they're not just cardboard cutouts. But if you have no reason to talk to them, you don't have to. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, talk to this person for no reason. But if you ever do decide to, ask questions to them, they actually are a bit more fleshed out than, the fact that they're just a name and a picture. They actually have a bit of story to them.
Shout out to Stavik.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say you should definitely ask that one girl who freaked out when she saw that you were a skeleton about what the skeletons ever did to her family.
I think
Yeah, please
she's like
don't.
gone.
She's on leave right now.
Yeah, you should look into that.
Find her house.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not. No, it has been. No, he spoopied them, and he does not want to spoopy people.
But how can you
On purpose.
understand the consequences of what you've done if you don't even understand why she was so afraid of skeletons in the first place?
He's
Like, you're just like, oh, she was scared of skeletons. But like, why is she
I
scared
mean,
of
that's
skeletons?
pretty. That is okay. No, hold on. A animated skeleton. That's a pretty healthy response.
Yeah.
Consider
I mean-
that everybody else in the Bathworks did not respond in that way.
I don't know, more professional.
Damn.
I mean, she
poor
seemed
girl.
pretty professional. Damn, you just came for her. Wow.
What'd she ever do to
I don't
you?
know.
All you ever did was give her PTSD.
Hmm. I was just suggesting that maybe it might be good for Stavik to figure out why he gave this girl PTSD, but he was like, nah. It's fine.
I'm not okay. First, I'm not disagreeing with you. Yes, that would be a good idea. I don't. If the opportunity presents itself, he would.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing because she's the key.
You cracked it.
No.
I feel like
I think
everyone
not.
has theories on who or what the key is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But we should go back to the
beginning,
of the
though.
episode, probably.
So,
Yeah.
important thing that happened in the beginning, though, is Valentino getting the drunk on with Mantis and losing.
True. It was honestly a lot closer than I thought.
I was surprised
Yeah.
because like there was a point where you're like, oh yep, one more point and you guys are gonna go down, and then
And there were
there's
10 more
10
drinks.
more after.
Okay, so let me explain how I actually run that. So you start with fortitude save. Okay, in order to be knocked unconscious by alcohol, your fortitude save result has to be less than 0. Okay, every round you drink gives you a cumulative -1 to your fortitude saves. If you nat 20, you take no penalty that round. If you nat 1, you instead of a -1, you take a -2 for that round. So it's a fortitude save that's constantly getting worse over time. So the idea is the more you drink, the more likely you are to pass out. But there's still a lot of randomness in that d20 roll. And at one point, he did roll like right on the cusp of knocking himself out, and then he just started rolling 19s for like
he
a
rolled
long
nothing lower than 8.
Mhm.
He has excellent luck on that one.
I'd love to
Mantis very nearly failed that because Mantis got a nat 1,
Mm.
and it put Mantis at a save of 0 on that check. And as I said, anything less than 0 is a knockout. So, boom, almost got her. So it was really close. Because the other thing is like, if you guys saw the saving throw bonuses, Valentina's a +3 fortitude, which is
Oh, wow.
it's okay. It's not good.
Pretty low.
Pretty low, but
I mean,
he just
sorcerer,
rolled like
mostly.
like a champion the whole goddamn time.
Mhm.
Whereas Mantis is
Barbarian.
high con and also has barbarian levels, so has a much higher fortitude save, and still almost lost. So it was just a very lucky set of dice rolls for Valentino. But ultimately, it did go the way the math suggested it would, and that was that Valentino lost. But it was after 17 rounds.
I don't
that
even
hit.
know how you put that much liquid in your stomach. That's the thing to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I would have just been
Throw
sick
up.
from over
Quantity.
encumbrance.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
No, sure.
Is kind of what happened to Valentino, but even so, I'm like, where does it go? Do they have
I
stomachs in their
imagine-
legs?
during the dinner, he was leaving every 3 minutes to go pee. That's my personal headcanon
okay.
for what actually happened.
So you said you were going basically, your standard wine glass pour, right?
Wine
There's about-
glass?
Yeah, you mentioned it was a
Like
standard,
6
almost
ounces?
like
Yeah, so it's
about 6
mead.
ounces.
Yeah, so it's mead, so it's a liquor. It's wine strength. So
Okay.
they're served in wine portions.
So like 6 bottles. So there's about 4 per bottle. So, god damn, that's a lot of that's a lot of bottles per person.
I threw up in middle
Yeah.
school just drinking 1 liter of like orange soda, so I don't know how they did this.
I threw up in high school for drinking a gallon of milk.
I believe that. Absolutely.
yeah.
I
Oh,
did
isn't
a-
that like a challenge?
Ugh.
Yeah. We did it. It was the
Yeah.
last day. That was my last day of high school. That was the last time I was on high school property. We were all in the parking lot, me and a bunch of my friends, and I had gotten a bunch of gallon jugs of milk to bring. It was in the back
Yep.
of my car all day.
No!
Oh
What
no!
the fuck, Beardy?
What, bro?
So we get it out.
Why?
Ew.
So we're all chugging like warm, like car warm milk.
Oh, no!
Why, bro?
This is why you're gonna have the microplastic
No.
problem.
No,
Why you
I'm
like
kidding.
this?
No, they were in a cooler.
Okay.
So
Not
you're
that
a
bad.
liar.
I got the rise idea that I wanted, but no, they were in a cooler, and the thing about them is I actually overcooled them because they were so cold that I think that's what actually made me puke.
That will, yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I chugged it down, and it was just like,
system.
and I just felt this horrible like freezing feeling in my stomach. But the rule was, because we all knew we were gonna puke, there was no way we were keeping it all down. The rule was the last
Ugh.
one to puke wins, and I was the last to puke. So.
And did you win anything?
I mean, the love and admiration of my peers.
Quote unquote respect.
Yeah.
Just like
The,
Valentino in this competition.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wonder
Yeah,
if Valentino
yeah.
learned anything from losing.
No,
No. That
I
was
mean,
a redundant.
he didn't lose.
I would say that he did better than I ever expected him to do. So,
That's
if anything,
true.
it's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. If it had gone another round and I'd rolled poorly, because like by the end of that, let me pull up my thing. By the end of that, Mantis was at a minus 13. So Mantis could have failed on like anything from a 1 to like 1 to 6 would have knocked her out.
I guess the shit getting kicked out of him like before this was probably rougher than the drinking contest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he didn't learn
definitely-
anything from that either.
He definitely lost that much more soundly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was honestly way closer than I ever thought.
But it was good.
Just
It was a
like-
good drinking contest.
Yeah. If he got one more good roll and I had gotten a bad roll, it would have been the other way around, you know. So
Then we also had the talk with Mantis about our plan to basically say we were friends, which went okay, I guess, for like,
I don't like
Yeah.
mushy gushy
the
stuff.
planning.
Stop asking me things. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like feeling feelings.
Mood.
Yeah, Mantis got to partially trauma dump.
Mm-hmm.
little bit, yeah.
in the session.
to be like,
Mm.
yeah, got a mom who'd rather be asleep than talk to me,
Hey, Louie's good for those kind of conversations.
and I got a dad who would rather have a different person than me as their kid. So fuck them both.
I would like know how did that make you feel, Screwy?
Okay. So, personally, I think if it were me playing Petra, obviously this is already canon, so it's neither here nor there. If it was me playing Petra, he would have doted on Mantis.
This is very
But-
different from how you've talked about this before.
Like, this is
I know.
This was decided after your responses as we asked you questions about it.
Yes. Oh no, I understand. This is also me. Mm. I hate it. I hate seeing them so angry, and knowing Petra is a good fucking portion of that, and it's like no. But it is what it is.
Yeah, don't worry. She gets a lot angrier because this is before, Reduvi gets elevated.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it only gets more divisive.
She's having a
after
great
that.
time living with her Graham right now.
Yeah, like this is actually one of the high points of Mantis's youth. Like this is the good times, and they're
Hey.
What
this
did
rough.
she do? What? Okay. Asking to peer behind. What was the catalyst for? And I'm going to guess Petra sending her to live with Graham.
Oh,
Okay.
that was actually her decision.
Oh, okay.
She wanted to get the
Alright.
fuck away from Petra,
Yeah.
so she's like,
Okay.
I see
She-
you're paying attention to this other kid who's not even your flesh and blood, so peace.
yeah, I'm gonna go and live in the hive in Pinterest. And then she gets there and
A
stays
study
with
abroad
Grandma.
program pretty much for the
Yeah,
rich.
I mean, because like again, Pinterest is like one of the big strongholds. Like, it's the biggest stronghold of the hive at this point. So
Aw.
she moved out
Petra.
there from southeastern Ville, and now is living in Burgos in Pinterest and spending time with Graham.
Because if I am correct, I believe there's the two like major areas would be Pentris and the Village settlement.
Yep, exactly. Those are their two big strongholds.
That's what we saw in the future.
Yep.
Mhm.
That was
Yep.
the Legends of Adrian as well, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And that was quite a big settlement at that point.
That was the last favor, right?
Yes, that is
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
Good times.
Good times.
I have fun naming things.
Yeah. I'm sorry I played God's Perfect Princess.
I don't
I still like that
forgive
character
you.
though. It was such a bullshit thing, and I'll never do it again.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna forgive you for that one.
You don't have. No, I'm not. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I wouldn't ask for forgiveness for that. But yeah, I played God Perfect Princess, and it was some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, it was really hard
Uh.
making it fun for everyone else because of that. I was like, all right, how do I balance everything now?
Yeah, no, that's entirely on me. Yeah.
But, anyways, the session
Yes.
had
Yeah, this session. Let's see.
Got some new duds.
Yeah. So after that, people went shopping in the like mid-afternoon area time.
Mm-hmm.
Got some new clothes for some people.
Mhm.
We got a yellow Stavik, a blue Zulin, and we got some continuously purple Louis.
Yeah.
More white with gold, white with yellow gold accents.
So it was more white than yellow.
Yeah.
It was more
yeah.
white. Yeah.
Like a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of like the White Ranger. Yeah.
Um,
Which I think is it's a nice change up from the like all black that we've been used to seeing Stavik in.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it.
I like it. Yeah. We had a spooky thing for a spooky blue-eyed person
Louis. Yeah.
in
Yeah,
at the end of the
Louis-
hallway.
Louis getting stalked by somebody.
Something
Supposedly. We didn't see nothing. And we looked.
Yeah.
psychosomatic.
Yeah, he's like that.
Louis?
No.
Yeah,
Oh, would love to know who these people are.
Well,
We'll get there.
he was gonna say
get there.
something at the end of the session. But it
Well, then
wasn't the
old-
time
old
anymore.
Granny was over there.
Graham.
No, different one.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
And
not
all
gonna-
of them are Graham at this point.
All
Right.
old women are
Um,
Graham by
Mhm.
default.
What else happened after that?
The therapist
We already
gestured to
Talked
Stavik.
about that.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
the hey, let's go have a chit chat.
Mhm.
Came back in, and we basically got ready.
We
We
went
got
to
ready
dinner.
for leave. Yeah, we went
Yep.
to
We
dinner.
went to
So-
dinner.
So
Xander also
about
did a
the
divination.
That's true. The
Yeah, we did
divination was
divination.
really cool.
so the just real quick about the talk in the other room with the therapist. They talked to Stavik for 20 seconds and then ended the conversation. So that was fun.
Oof. They already know Stavik is a piece of shit. I'm thinking.
Not necessarily, but they heard everything they needed to hear. So.
Mm.
But yeah, so then you guys made your way to a divination point, or rather, sorry, Xander went off to the statue
Mhm.
and did a divination there. And let me read you what that was. It was a womb bore a key long after the chains were set. They walk now with hollow eyes and a heavy name. Not all prisons are for gods. Some are made of flesh. So you got that creepy little thing. And then Xander returned, and you guys all grouped up and went off to a dinner.
Yeah.
To a dins.
Mm-hmm.
Did I
Although
miss anything?
the death coins being put in the fountain, I think, is very interesting. That and the conversation with what I assume is Vera.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. The old friend.
Is that because of Xander's memory?
That's a great question. Xander did say that, or he did seem to be talking to an old friend, and he talked about trials and tribulations and glimpses of their past and great battles and adventures and carrying a great burden. While looking at the statue of Vera. So perhaps.
That's not who I assumed you were talking to, but that is fine.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
I'm-
think we always have all the information about Xander in comparison to you two.
That's true.
Mhm.
I have very little information about Xander too.
I also have very little information about Xander.
I don't think that's
that's
good
good.
for the DM to be saying.
That's the beauty is everyone has precious little information about Xander. Xander
We
is
all
simply
have a
an
little
enigma.
bit.
Beardy, I know exactly who you were thinking of, and that makes a lot of sense. But
Okay.
I also think everybody else's interpretation makes sense from the
Yeah.
situation.
You know
and the
what? And I'm
context.
fine with that. I think everyone's interpretation is valid. So
I
I'm
don't.
not going to ask for a correction. We'll assume all of us are right.
No,
Mm.
never.
Mhm. Maybe he was talking about multiple friends.
Maybe.
Maybe
Oh.
Vera and this other person are actually the same individual for the same reasons that the
Mhm,
key is redacted.
Yeah, obviously.
hmm
We'll get to redacted later.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then you return. Everybody gathers up. You head off to the new Vanny estate. So how was that, by the way, explaining the estate change?
The
location change.
Where the fuck is Horse Vistal that Zoolin has been going to in Ventress?
Yeah, that never got
I am
answered.
interested in
game.
that one.
They have a different location now.
Yeah, where is it?
Yeah, because literally, I've talked to you about going to Ventress to go
Yeah.
to Horse Vistal this
Yeah.
entire time,
Yeah. They have
and
a different
apparently
place
they're not
now.
here.
Yeah, they had to. They downsized.
They downsized in the last month.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So
They
where
downsized.
on the map are they?
Oh, sure. They're on the map. Yeah.
Beardy, you're not
let's
a very
see.
fun person to talk to sometimes.
Okay, there are plenty of buildings that they could be in. So how about? How about?
I mean, are they
let's see.
still in Ventress?
Yeah, I
Yes.
think that's an important
Yes.
question to answer.
Yeah.
Because you're being
No,
very
most-
elusive right now.
Well, because I don't have all of my notes in front of me. that I'm not gonna like scan and read and leave you guys hanging for 5 minutes while I read my game notes. So most of the families have divested or just straight up like were basically wiped out during the swarm attacks and all that, right? So a lot of them pulled up stakes and left after the strike. When they lost a lot of the political power in town, a lot of them left as well. So there's very little traces of the original families left at this point.
I'm very curious what happened to the Aronis as well, because I imagined they were going to be heroes because they were the ones that gave the bomb to the group, even if they didn't set it off. I imagine they got all the credit.
Partially, yeah.
So
and it's why they were, for a while, they were the most influential of the houses left.
Okay.
But that was that was pre-strike, and they were probably the most. They had the most egregious labor violations out of any of the houses. So when it came time, like when the strike happened, they were sort of like the rallying cry around the workers were like to get rid of the Aronis, basically.
So maybe this is just me, and maybe I wasn't paying attention enough before, but I feel like you've been talking about this strike for this session very specifically, but we really haven't known about it that much at all. And sometimes the way you talk about things is like we're supposed to know these things.
Oh, no worries. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can certainly ask some people about it. It's town history, but it happened not too long in the past. I want to say the strike was probably
20 years?
20-ish years ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like the swarm tragedy, that whole attack happened before Mantis was born.
Well, that happened before Check Please started.
Right, exactly. That all. Well, it
It
ended
a few,
in Check
I think
Please
like 2
campaign
months
1
before.
Oh, sorry.
Session
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
So like the swarm era of time ended in Check Please season 1.
Season 2 it ended.
Or season 2 campaign 1. There we go.
It's so confusing.
I know our naming convention sucks.
We're not doing seasons after campaign 1. I'm sorry.
I know we're not doing seasonal content anymore. We're just doing campaigns. It'll be easy from here out.
The fact that we have it makes it confusing.
Yeah. It was only that first one where we had seasonal content, so it made it much more difficult.
We were still figuring things out. I'm sorry.
We were figuring things out. We're doing better now, we promise. So yes, the swarm era ended in campaign 1. Then there was of course your time jump forward, and about halfway through that time jump there was the strike, which was caused by a lot of different factors, but it basically culminated into the formation of the Union in the town. And the Union and various other factors, including Thaeni's like entire fortune, went into basically. Go ahead.
I do enjoy that they gave up everything to it. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she gave up everything. She sold everything, including the house. She literally gave the house to the Union. It is now the Union headquarters. Like that's the Union like meeting hall, council hall, whatever. Like that's basically became City Hall practically. So yeah, she get rid of all that, and she was basically penniless. And then after the strike ended and the workers basically seized control through various means of the town, and money started to flow back in to the people, they paid her back by basically buying up the Horace Vistal estate and then giving it to her. Because they'd already made the Eni estate, the Union Hall. So they're just like, well, we'll give her that one instead. So I hope that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I think for next session you should probably determine where Horace Vistal is for Xeno. Probably.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's only one building left because
there's
bottom right is the Hive.
The Hive actually, I think I put them here.
Viewers can't see the here thing, Beardy, so that's not really helpful.
Well, I'm only showing this on the server anyway, so that I was. It's just for
Okay.
conversational purposes.
Because
The hive.
I'd
ahead.
asked before because I was confused on why the Aronis were in the wrong location, and you said that the hive was now residing in the old Aronis building. But I don't know where things are.
I don't remember that conversation. It probably happened. I don't know if it made it in fully to my notes. We'll see. But yes, no, I imagine I fucked up. How about that? That's my best guess. But yeah, I ended up putting the hive in the lake area in the northeast. They basically drained the lake and built the hive there. So I do have two major buildings, like two major houses that are left unoccupied. And that's the southeast and the southwest. So I'll let you pick.
Well, I mean, the Aronis is better because it had more area. It was a more successful house than I think the bottom left was either Liarum or Fitcorum, which were both just banking money houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the biggest house was Horus Vistal originally. That's why I had the biggest one on the top.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
in
so-
the very least, some of that's cleared up.
Yeah. yeah. I have answers to most of those questions.
But yeah, so then we went and got to the dinner area.
Yeah. So you got to the dinner. You met with the two of them. They were there in the main hall. I had a conversation with them. And you went into the dining room and had more conversation. You were served a series of very interesting dishes that I think got more appetizing as the dinner went on.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like
desserts.
everything sounded tasty from Keni perspective, in the very least.
I mean, there's some of those dishes that I probably wouldn't have liked personally, but
Go on.
I'll pull up the list. Tell you which ones I didn't like.
The first one, the lavender eggs.
Look, lavender is an interesting flavor. I don't think it needs to be in a lot of food because to me it fucking tastes like soap.
Yeah.
Like straight up. I just don't care for lavender as a flavor. Let's see. Okay, here we go. It was chilled quill eggs dusted with crushed lavender salt, which is just god awful. Let's see, the turnip petal tartlets. That's actually lovely, because it actually has a bit of sweetness from the almond paste. They're actually really quite good. The clear wine jelly cubes, the ones that I actually had in real life were not that great, but I think it was because the cook fucked them up.
They're jelly cubes.
What's that?
Jelly cubes.
Yeah. They were clear wine jelly cubes
Like
with
a Jello
embedded...
shot.
Yeah, like a little Jello cube.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of like the wabi mochi or whatever. The
mochi?
fucking worst thing you can order from any like sushi place.
No.
Horrific.
It has currants and currants in it, and then it was covered in like some gold leaf on the outside.
Okay.
So they look like little gold cubes, but you eat them and they have currant in them. But
I like currant.
yeah. So it's like white wine jelly with currant. It's fine. Again, the ones I had were not set properly, and they were just. You had to eat them with a spoon because you couldn't actually pick them up because they didn't set properly. I think the currant ended up messing up the jelly setting properly. I don't know if it was like the acid in the currant fucked it up. I don't know. I didn't make it. I can only guess why it didn't work. Let's see. Then there was the wild mushroom salad. That was delicious. The rosemary parsnip cream soup. That was pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of clove oil, as it's like a flavor, but it was fine.
I just don't like soups. for the most part.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. If you don't like soups, you're not gonna like it.
I like chowders.
Yeah.
Chowders are great.
Yeah,
Bisques.
yeah. I mean, The parsnip cream soup was kind of I mean, it's a cream soup, so it's kind of a bisque already, like that.
Yeah,
So
it's better than a
gonna be
soup.
Well, it's not. Yeah, it's cream based. It's not water based, so it's going to be
Like,
thicker.
I guess basically it's a soup. If we're going to generalize it, is
Yeah.
good depending on how thick it is. Once
Okay.
it gets to stew and chowder, that's like the two farthest ones, I'd say. That the closer it gets to chowder, the better it gets. Once it gets to stew, I'm like, this is just water and meat. Or water
Yeah,
and
it's just
Right.
meat, it's just meat floating in
Ugh.
water. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
feel like you would like Japanese stews then because they're really creamy and thick.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a huge fan of French onion soup, but that's basically just like bread chunks in salt water.
I
I love it.
I enjoy French
Wet bread.
onion by eating the cheese and then dumping out the rest of the garbage.
The cheese is the best part, obviously. You're completely right about that.
Split
Uh,
split pea soup, great.
It's
You think
thick,
a good
though.
one?
That's
Yes.
thick. That's a thick boy.
Mhm.
Anyway, so the next course was the fish. That was the citrus steamed river trout
Which fish?
and the
Mm.
Great.
pickled eel slivers.
Delicious.
Which that's a weird one because it is served in an aspic, which is another gel. So it can inside a jelly.
Aspic?
Aspic. Yeah. ASPIC, aspic. In America we called them jellos, but in England, where a lot of the stuff originated, it was called aspic.
Hmm.
The
So, yeah.
pheasant and
Yeah. So those were both tasty. Although I don't understand why you would serve eel inside aspic, but that was just the way people did it. Anyway, the next one was the roast pheasant, the stuffed chestnut cake, and the braised rabbit in a spiced fig sauce. Yeah, those are all good. But anyway, that's probably enough of this.
and then dessert.
The
Delicious.
dessert sounded great. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I feel like the conversation that we had with Tally went really well.
Yeah,
Yes.
surprisingly well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, so many moments where I was like, "This is gonna go so bad. This is gonna go so bad."
But no, I feel like we just ended up impressing.
Yeah.
Tally.
Every time she was
yeah.
impressed, I was like, "What's going
Like
on?"
super honored to be in the presence of Xander.
Honestly, weird. I was like, "Whoa, we've told someone something and they haven't freaked out immediately." Crazy. I love
knew
it.
about the Luciana murder solving.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was named like national news.
Right.
So called us heroes.
Mhm.
Wrong choice.
Yeah. Poor choice of words,
uh,
especially for Louis.
Valentina was loving that though. Valentina was loving it.
Mhm.
Also
Yeah.
missed the quote unquote the not kiss on the hand for Valentino in the beginning, which
Mhm.
Mantis hated.
Mantis
Mhm.
did hate that.
I'm just like
lot.
trying to like fuck people's like parental figures, I guess.
Yeah.
Like try to go after Soul's dad, trying to
Mhm.
go after
For
Mantis's
Vera's-
grandma.
Vera's mom.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, stop trying to fuck people's moms
I
and
mean-
dads.
I don't
Way it
think
goes.
I ever talked about it, but I think that Lavette could have pulled Soul's dad.
See,
Well, that's a lesbian.
that's the weird part to me,
That's
right?
the weird part, right? That's the
Yeah.
weird part.
But like also the idea that there was some sort of glee from Grem where they're like, "Oh, like maybe I could be Soul's stepmom." And I was like, "Do you really think that's a good idea for your already bad friendship?" It's not going to end well. This can only end terribly. Don't do it. For your sake.
It's a twap.
It's a twap.
But no, yeah. So all that went very, very well. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
I mean,
There's-
for once just being able to be honest and saying what's going on and people just being like, okay.
All
was
right.
nice.
What do we need to do?
It
Yeah.
worked far better than talking to Mantis.
Oh God,
Absolutely.
right? She's so
It was
stupid.
Absolutely.
Luckily, in the corner, in a cloud of tobacco smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I find it very interesting that Taeli was like, "Yeah, sure, have my granddaughter take her down to this weird door to find Owen," and I was like, "Really? You're okay with this?"
I mean, to be fair, we have to consider the fact that her daughter nearly caused Armageddon in the city, and then she fixed it afterwards. So, like,
The Viennese are built different.
right? They're
I
built
guess so.
Apparently.
very clearly, and I love them for it. I love them for it.
Accurate.
I also found the conversation that Xander had with Mantis afterwards very interesting, where he was like, "Watch yourself," and she was like, "Is this a threat?" And he was like, "No," and she was like, "I'll crush you," and he was like, "I've been broken before," and she was like, "Okay, well, you're used to it." Then Xander was like, "I like you," and she was like, "You're not so bad yourself." It was just a great conversation, honestly.
I like the I'm warning you. She's like, no, I'm warning you.
Yeah.
Like, these kind of people exhaust me though, where I'm just like, "Oh, there's no use in talking to you.
It was great. It was great.
Your brain cells are so small amounts. It don't matter."
You take a lot of blows to the head. This thing sort of happens.
I just didn't think she already had that many blows already.
I mean, she
They're
just
doing a lot
likes
of
to
work.
fight.
Mhm.
She likes to tussle.
Yeah.
When someone comes up
Yeah.
and says like, "Hey, watch out," she's like, "Fuck you! You watch out."
Do you
Yeah.
know who the fuck I am?
I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
I think
Dinner was
like,
good.
I think of the line like if someone says like tells her to beware, she's like, "You tell me to beware, I'll tell you where to be." That's how she is.
Interesting that she knows about the distorted insects.
I'm imagining she was talking about like abominations.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She just
Yep.
misinterpreted it, and it was like, sure.
Exactly. You got it.
What was it? I did also enjoy learning about Taeli talking to Mellifera for a short time.
Yeah.
They had a
Yeah,
very
that-
short. They
That's
had one very
intimidating.
short run-in.
It's like, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Talking to a primal god.
Right.
and it was a very scary situation. But she's like, I don't need to take up any of this being's time.
No, you should take up all their time. Make space for yourself, baby girl.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I am sad we didn't get a answer from Mantis about if she. Although I guess we can talk to her tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like she's gone. She's traveled
Not
with you
yet.
now, or will be.
For a short amount of time.
Party's getting real big. Have to kill off Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Who volunteers?
I have use for her.
Bastion it is.
Oh, also, hold on. Bastion just came up and was like, "Yeah, I found some money."
Yeah.
The fuck that's
Yeah.
about, Beardy?
He found some money.
How
Found
much
some
money?
money.
How much money did he find?
Some money.
Clearly a good amount, because you don't go up to someone being like, "Hey, do you need some money?" Unless you have like a decent amount of money, I feel.
Also, is Valentino going to do some vigilante work and is just going to see Bastion robbing people?
Probably.
He'd turn the other way.
No.
He'd help him.
No, Valentino would be like, hey.
No.
Depends on the day.
Valentino's whole like past like job was robbing people blind. I feel like he'd be totally good.
I
With
think it
Bastion
literally
doing
depends on
that.
the day for Valentino. Like what vibe he's feeling over the other. But
he's,
Louis
like,
knows better than
sobbing.
to accept money from people, so he was like, no.
What? Damn.
I mean, Bastion's just holding on to it for him right now.
Yeah. Whoever's money it is.
Whoever's Mantis's money, maybe. It is. Who knows?
How
She
should
doesn't
I
need
know?
How would you know?
How would I know? So yeah, let's see. Anything else happened in the episode until the very end, where you guys got back and
Yes.
saw the weird street
Got the
creature
tour.
again? You get a tour. That's true.
That, and also we had Mantis and Louie talking about childhood trauma.
We
parental
trauma bonded,
Yeah, the
but
trauma
not like
bonded,
that
which-
kind of trauma bonded. We different trauma
yeah.
bonded.
You just trauma dumped at each other, and I think you have like a reasonable understanding now.
Which I believe we've had Louie talk about being sold off before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Mantis talked about how she wished she had smoother skin.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah, it's been like it's not a thing. Like it's just not in the cards for Mantis.
Louis was so
It is in
amused
the
by that. He was like,
Like
"Well,
you're born half Oread. You're gonna have crungly skin. You know.
Mhm.
Sound
At least she doesn't have a grass beard.
true.
It's true. Could be worse.
Ugh.
Could have been full Oread.
Grass hair. Ugh.
Fuck that shit.
Could have
think-
grass somewhere else.
Yeah.
I
Can you
mean,
imagine being full Oread and grass hair?
That is your daughter, sir.
That is, in fact.
part of Louis did want
Is
to.
it? Reduvi.
Oh shit. Got him. Sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
Oh, no worries. Part of Louis did want to say, like, I think your skin is fine, but he was like, why would my opinion matter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, girl.
Yeah. Whatever.
But yeah, so now we have we're going to team up with Mantis to kill Petravian.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Sure.
we're gonna
Beat
team
up
up with
Beardy.
Mantis to apparently abscond Rue down to the door.
Okay, but
That's what's
they're
gonna fucking
talking about, like, what Louis agreed to with
Ah,
Mantis.
Yeah, with his beat up.
Gotcha.
Her
Gotcha.
dad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Someone's
We gotta
jumping
go
the
in.
gun.
A
Gotta
little
go
bit.
and beat up Petravian. How do you think it would go, Screwy? Petravian versus the
Ooh.
party.
Plus Mantis
Plus Mantis.
is very
Party
important.
plus
See-
Mantis. Yeah.
Like, what do you guys back?
You guys are currently level 6, right?
Currently.
7.
Oh,
Seven.
seven, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're 7s.
I don't remember his loadout at the moment.
Party of
I don't-
7s versus a 20.
I don't remember his
And a 10.
loadout. And
We have a 10 with us with Mantis.
Mantis is 8.
Oh, okay.
Oh. So I feel like overall we're like around like level 12 or 13 if we combine all of
CR?
us. Yeah, as a CR.
Yeah, as a CR. Yeah.
Yeah.
straight
Yeah.
up fisticuffs and bludgeoning and piercing damage. I don't know. But you got all those lovely
How much health
spells and awfulness.
Yeah, how much
So-
health did
Ooh.
Petravian have?
What's that?
A
How much
lot.
health?
He had a
did
lot of
Petravian
health.
have?
Like
Oh, yeah.
200 plus.
Lot.
More than
Okay.
200, yeah. North
Yeah.
of 200
Yeah.
HP. Very,
I
very
always
high
took-
AC.
Yeah.
Very high damage. I mean, like, it's going to come down, like, just from remembering Petravian's, like, general stats versus the party currently. Petravian, like, it's a level 20 character.
I have a
Petravian would just
question.
paste you guys.
Is Screwy playing Petravian or are you playing Petravian?
Right, because that's important.
That's an important factor.
Definitely
Oh,
Petravian if Screwy was playing him.
And also, if Screwy is playing Petravian, who's playing Stavik?
Yes.
Mhm.
Amazing.
I'm hurt both ways.
Wow.
I'm not saying you're wrong,
And I'm
but
saying,
I'm still saying Jesus tits, guys.
I've played a lot of tactics games and you haven't.
and
Yeah.
I'm saying, who's playing Stavik because I don't trust you to not decide who you want to
Right.
win.
That's true.
Like,
I mean,
Stavik
'cause-
takes total defense.
Yeah, like the way I see it, like Petravian has a returning hammer that can be thrown multiple times around as a ranged attack, and then you can get into melee and just crush people. It has a mount, so you're fast. That can also, I think, probably fly. I believe.
Also has a
Yes.
hammer that can cast heal once.
Yeah, it has a hammer that can
Yeah.
cast heal once a day, so you've got like
Mhm.
an extra 150 health or whatever.
Yeah, but he forgets his
on
moves
top of the
half the
200.
time.
And then the fact you also have lay on hands that you can do on yourself.
God
as a
damn
swift,
it!
yeah, and then you can lay on hands yourself as a swift action like 10 times a day for like 10d6 damage.
Yeah.
10 multiple
And then you
tons
can
of times
swarm
per day.
swap with chisel.
You don't need to do that. You're riding chisel.
If you're writing
Yeah,
chisel,
sure.
it doesn't
So-
really make sense.
So, but like you have a lot of options, and you just have so much more power. Like the party, I doubt would even lay a hand on Petravian, to be honest. Like I would be surprised if anyone other than Louis did damage to you. And the reason why
probably.
Louis would is because Louis attacks touch.
Same as
Because I think
Zula.
that's true.
Zula does too.
Zulin and that you're right. Bombs also are touch. So between Louis and Zulin, they're the only people that could hit you. But your swift action heal on yourself
It's true. It's a bitch.
is so much more damage than they could possibly do to you in a turn.
So I
'Cause
guess the
you heal
tactic
yourself. Okay.
might be to like kill Chisel right away, so at least you have that speed bonus gone.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be dead before we
Chisel-
could finish off.
Chisel would be the easier target, though. You're
Mhm.
right.
Though it would
But I
be
think
tough
Xeno's right.
because he is a paladin and he does have really good saves, so we'd be hoping on just really bad luck and Screwy not throwing in a bunch of hero points. But if we manage to get like a curse on him with like
Mhm.
Spectral Hand, we could like
Yeah.
drop his saves or like give
Mhm.
him like a 50% chance of doing nothing on his turn.
And also,
We
I
could-
can
shoulda, woulda, done.
blind him as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
What's
Yeah.
Petravian's fortitude?
really
Is it
high
good?
because he's
Crazy
High
nice.
paladin
He's a
stuff.
paladin with a lot of
Yeah,
constitution.
you get
It's
the charisma
insane.
added.
So
Yeah.
my
but
extra
But I
stuff
think
much.
Xeno was correct in saying that you guys would probably die before you even brought Chisel down.
Mm.
Yeah.
Currently. But who said we were going to
yeah.
currently curb stomp
Right.
Petravian?
I'm just saying if this was the party as it stands now, I think you guys stand
Yeah.
zero chance.
We get to level 20 and we're like, let's talk to Mantis about beating
Yeah.
her dad.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's this party at level 20, that's a different story, obviously. But
I was thinking
as
level
it stands
15.
now,
Why doesn't Stavik want to beat up Mantis' dad? He sounds like a dick.
Yeah,
I-
don't you want to beat up your dad?
I think
I didn't say Stavik wouldn't. Stavik would be down for this. There's no reason for him not to.
if you guys were level 12, I think you could do it.
Mm,
I think we could
I
do
As
it
a
at
team.
10.
You think at 10? Okay,
Mhm.
we could try it at 10.
Action
should.
economy.
Action economy is powerful,
Mhm.
truly.
And with Stavik's recent additions, plus he's gonna have 2 more levels. Yeah, I think I think you could probably take.
I'm not
a
sure
good-
if Petravian would ever have a problem hitting Stavik, though.
No.
Oh no! I'm just saying as a team.
Yeah.
If what I just got
Mhm.
translates also into what other people are getting just as cool or
Mhm.
just as powerful, I don't think they'll have a problem taking down a.
I have no idea.
It'll
what this
be.
means.
Let me rephrase that. It'll be a fight. It'll be a good fight.
So long as Xander doesn't just fold you into infinity.
I mean,
we like go
yeah.
into like the battle map and Shane's just like, Beardy, I would like to fold Petravian.
I don't
out
think
of
Xander would
existence.
do
More
that.
than 7 times.
yeah. I mean, you could do that, and then Xander would probably just like
Just die.
die on the spot.
Yeah.
But it would still be a win for the party. So
That's
Yeah.
true.
It would-
That's true.
yeah?
That's true.
Yeah.
I have so many negative stats for like 30
Yeah.
episodes.
It's true. Detlef didn't
I love
save
it.
you last time, so
I love it. I love
R.I.P.
I love it. I was gonna heal myself actually. I told Beardy this today. I was like, you know, I'm at a level where I could probably take care of some of this, but I was like, it doesn't really feel like that makes sense, and I don't want that to happen. So then I decided not to.
exactly.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. So then after that, I think you guys
We
got
toured
back
around,
to
yeah. Got
Yeah,
back
so we
to
did a
a lady.
Yep. Yeah. Got back to the bathworks, and you met a weird,
Yeah.
creepy old woman again. And this
Grandma.
time, the creepy old woman
It's me.
said, "Where is my
Anastasia.
goddamn notes? Sorry, it's in a different
The
place."
key was born
Which-
long after the gate was sealed. A
Yeah,
flicker
there
of
it is.
memory where death could not.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Their name is forgotten, but not by the dead. They walk with ghosts and call them kin. cracked of mind, yet whole of soul. They remember what no one was meant to know. Bring them the sleeper's thorn cradle, and the silence shall speak.
Cut out a little bit here and there because you got too
Yep.
low, but all
Got a
good.
little low there, and yeah.
Oh, sorry. So
But-
yeah. The cracked of mind, yet whole of soul.
Well, Screwy, why don't you just start with your theories, because obviously this is burning you up. So go ahead.
It is. It's two people in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's either A of the circle somehow, cracked of mind, whole of soul,
Yeah.
or-
she's crazy.
I mean, we are
Or-
trying to blow, so.
or it's Rue.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can go line by line and see which one's which, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't
So,
we compile all the main hints? I don't know if we want to
I have them
compile
all.
A's as well with that, but let's go
Mhm.
line by line of
Yeah.
the Sears stuff at least, and
Yeah,
Xander's
so we've got-
stuff.
Yeah. So the riddles you got today, the Xander's divination, and then what was just told by that crazy preacher,
Sure.
street preacher person. They're similar. They're very similar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, a woman bore a key long after the chains were set. They walk now with hollow eyes and a heavy name. Not all prisons are for gods. Some are made of flesh. So, who would that refer to? Would that refer to A of the Circle, you think?
No,
No.
Well,
no,
hmm
that would refer to Rue because, well, prison
Wait.
flesh.
hold on. Didn't you say that Rue looked like she was really, like, doing okay despite everything, that she had, like, a really good life, Screwy?
Yeah, I did.
How could she
But still-
possibly have hollow eyes, then? She's just a sweet old lady. She's grandmama. Just having a good
Mm.
time. Just living out her
Dunno.
last days.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, you know,
A flicker of
the-
memory where death could not reach. Oh wait, no. So we're on the first.
Yeah,
We're on
yeah,
the
yeah.
first.
Okay, you can go to the second one. That's fine.
That's fine.
Go
ahead.
It's the flicker of memory where death could not reach. There's a touch of memory still there. It's where death could not. Could it? Okay. The statement "flicker of memory where death could not reach." Could that have been referring to the fact that Stavik and Xander went to go talk with them, but couldn't draw out any memories or something?
Potentially.
That's what that reads to
Potentially.
me.
I think the next line though is pretty
Yeah.
solid giveaway.
The name is forgotten, but not by the dead. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The fact that they would not know their heritage, their true last name. They would not know that their true last name would have been von Hugel, except for Stavik.
Yeah.
So
They walk with ghosts and call them kin.
A of the circle, though.
Why is A of the Circle in this conversation, since we already know he's not the
He
key?
can't open it. He's already said that. He has to
already
be the one that
tried.
knocks.
I know.
Also, remember, it's that the key now wanders free. Seek the mourner under the iron rose before the wrong hands get to her.
But
did-
that
they- that
made
did-
that didn't
That
that
did
threw me.
gender the key.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big clue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did not notice that. Yeah.
And
okay.
remember when Stavik had that conversation with Xander where he was like, do I want to know about all the stuff that has happened in Rue's life, and then Xander was like, yeah, you'll know about that at some point, but it doesn't have to be today. And he was like, okay. So, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No,
remember
okay.
when she was talking about the kids? I do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was saying that she just saw her husband like
husband
picking flowers in the backyard that
garden?
day.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh
Yeah.
no.
It was all there.
Oh
It's
no.
all there. I mean,
Oh no.
like I said, I feel like I did a lot better with this one than I did with the last mystery.
I
Yeah,
am
you
a
did.
bit confused though. What was the point of the end of the spoke one? Because that doesn't seem to. That seems to completely
That's
contradict
part of
being
A's
related.
letter, and
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
was A's
sure
letter.
how much
Oh,
He's
of
a
that
nutball.
okay.
So what was
we
the point of it? This
could have.
He's crazy.
bullshit.
So
It's
he's
just a red
insane,
herring,
that's-
I guess.
Yeah, but also
So wait.
like he's also insane. So
so
he's
wait.
just gonna say shit.
But what
I'm gonna
does
kill
Seek
any
the
insane
Mourner?
character to see.
Huh?
Seek the
Well-
Mourner under the Iron Roses.
That was where the door was.
Yeah, that was the door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
How are we gonna get fucking Rue down to the
Well,
fucking
we
door?
kidnap her.
You're gonna.
She don't know
Hey.
what's happening.
You just remember a little bit ago when Bastion said we'll just grab
Oh, sorry.
Mantis,
I'm sorry,
and you
just a
got really
second.
upset.
Louis get upset. Kenny?
Kenny, grab him.
grab.
Grab them motherfuckers.
Push her down the hole.
I mean,
Push her right down that
For
hole.
one thing, Rue's already lived a life, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Mantis was young and still had plenty of life to live.
Yeah. But Rue isn't
Well-
old, and olds don't deserve it.
Okay.
Jeez.
Fuck them.
So
Wow.
going into, so we have accepted that Rue is the key.
That is what the
Uh,
clues point to.
That is
Now-
what the point to.
Now, the caretaker that's with Rue, are they
That is
in
a challenge.
are they in on the fact that they are the key? Are they basically keep protecting and keeping
she's
her
just
there?
hired help.
Yeah, I understand that, but
The real question is, what level is she?
yeah,
We're gonna find out.
yeah, fixin'.
I'll distract
Although
her.
you could probably get Rue to follow you if you just go as
Her dad.
yourself.
Do you wanna try to put on a cloak of Kilorian?
Or we could just
Make
put
it-
an illusion spell on him.
Or just an illusion spell, that's fine too. That's true.
That was cool. Like,
Not as cool, but
you could use
it'll
a
work.
mythical, like, legendary item.
Yeah,
Oh,
you could use
great!
a
Now I get
mythical
to
legendary item, but it's fine. You don't have to.
now I get
If she
to
really is your
trick my
caretaker.
daughter into thinking, let's go on. You remember those times we used to go climbing? Let's go climbing.
Okay, why are you making this so much creepier than it
That
has
is
to
a lot
be?
creepier than it needs to be. Yeah.
Jesus fucking
Damn.
Christ.
Here, follow me into the sewer, darling.
Yeah.
Be like,
Follow me
hey,
into the sewers.
You miss your papa? He's down there in the sewers. We can take you to him.
Don't worry about your caretaker. She's having a nap for a long time.
I just cast
She went to
sleep on her.
She went to the farm upstate.
Yeah.
She's
With all
fine.
the puppies.
Yeah. I think it'll actually be really easy to get Rue out of there. Compared to
Agreed.
how difficult this conversation makes it seem like it's going to be, I feel like it would actually be pretty easy.
See, you say that, and now but I'm drawn back to the statement earlier of our fantastic DM saying I set up a boss fight,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking this caretaker ain't just gonna be a pushover. I feel like they're gonna be somebody.
Let me ask you something, Screwy.
Yeah.
What makes you think that the boss fight is the caretaker and not what happens after we open the door?
Can it be? Can't they have two boss fights?
That's true. It could be two boss fights, but if we're doing two consecutive boss fights,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the one with the caretaker would probably be less of a big deal than the one after the door that is
Yes.
imprisoning the god.
Agreed.
You know? So
Agreed.
I feel like, how bad could the caretaker be?
You can say that, bro. I don't say those sorts of things.
Yeah. Besides, all we need is one person to take Rue out of there, and 5 people to like just keep.
Push her down the hole.
Okay. Yeah. I suppose we could do that.
What else are we gonna do? Gotta tie a rope on her leg and just
I have Featherfall.
pulley her down.
We can also
Featherfall.
use teleportation magic, probably.
It's not too advanced. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
It's too much.
Wow.
Too much.
But all in all, pretty fun sesh, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like my idea better.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I have a quick question to all of you guys.
Yeah, bro.
Do you want to do bingo?
yes.
Okay. So I just went through the bingos, and
Mhm.
while I did mark a lot of squares, I did not actually achieve any bingos.
Oh my god!
And how did Shane do?
Shane probably has the entire goddamn thing marked, is my guess.
That is not true. There
That is
is
not true.
4 that no, there are 5 that are not
There are
marked.
5 that are not marked.
Of course there are.
There are 5 that are not marked. But we
Swear
can
to
go
God.
through. We can go through.
God damn it. Okay, let's hear it.
Let's go, baby girl.
So
Okay, let's-
I got
The ones that you got.
yeah, so the ones I got were Taily or Mantis talks about Vera. I got lack of manners, blackout drunk, money can't buy you happiness, Val does not win drinking competition, shot, free space. Someone's hungry. What are these roles? And Taily talks about how different she is from her family. And then I will go ahead and mark the key is identified, potentially. So I'll mark that one out of a bit of generosity there. But that does not make any bingos on my sheet. So
Okay.
Here we go.
here we go.
So, based on past precedent, we
Oh,
have
boy.
also marked off squares when they are mentioned in the beginning of the episode before the session starts or during the checkpoint. And we did just talk about holes.
No,
Okay,
No.
fine.
we're not taking that.
Okay. There was also You Frickin' Fricks, which was definitely Louis' face at several points
Yeah.
during the conversation, especially when Stavik started making a big deal of his daughter, and then Taily was like, "Oh, how old is she?" And then he had the "Your actions have consequences" expression, which is what that meme is. So that's why I marked that one.
Yep.
Let's see which other ones we got. Should not have said that. I think that there were several things said tonight that constitute you should not have said that. But I don't know if people disagree.
No, I
Such
agree with
as-
that.
Everything came out pretty well, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see anybody having like spilled the beans and fucked yourselves over. So I don't see that
I
one as
mean-
having happened.
Like,
Didn't
should
fuck us
Julian
over.
have talked about the things he said? Probably not.
Right,
But,
but
like,
isn't that
should-
what should not have said that means,
Should
though?
not have
like,
said that means you said something that bit you in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't think anything bit you in the ass today.
All right.
well, okay, so like, let's, in this hypothetical
Love this
situation,
advocacy.
if there's like a police officer, right, and you admit that you did a crime, and the police officer's like, you know what, I'm really busy today, like, I don't have time to do this, like, I'm gonna go, you still shouldn't have said that, you know? It doesn't change the fact that nothing bad happened because of it. But we don't have to mark it. I just think that that's not what that means.
I mean, I guess Xander did say to watch yourself to Mantis, which he shouldn't have said.
No, you absolutely should have said that. That absolutely should have happened, and it did, and I'm glad it did.
I also marked return of miscommunication. I
Okay.
feel like there were multiple times during the episode where two characters were talking about something and they miscommunicated, or there was like some confusion about it, like
Yeah,
Xander
okay.
talking about the bees.
There
a lot.
was a couple points where I feel like
Oh.
people were talking about two different things at the same time. So yeah, I'll mark
Mhm.
that. That's fair.
That's a definite in my
Um,
opinion.
Yeah. I also marked just try and stop me.
The Bastion.
Mantis existing
Yes.
all the time,
And
though, too.
Mantis too, honestly, both of them. Yeah.
The Bastion one definitely, because
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna take her.
Right?
Okay.
Louis
Okay.
like, don't do that. And he's like, I'm going to do it.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
if we have to.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fair.
So I think that would make one.
So that would
bingo.
make a bango
Mhm.
across the middle.
Woo!
All right.
And
any
that's
more?
not all, folks.
Oh, I'm sure. Don't worry.
Let's see. Of these, I marked. I'm bringing back no TPs in 2025, which probably does not make sense to you, Beardy.
I did not mark it because I don't know what the fuck
Yes.
that means.
So the concept of an OTP essentially means like a one true pairing. This is your
Oh,
like
okay,
top chip,
okay.
and a no TP is like this disgusts me. I hate this.
Okay. I've never heard that used before.
Well, the
but okay.
therapist kind of.
Yeah, that whole conversation there.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm-
like
Yeah, I'm understanding of what an OTP is. So the no TP is the opposite of that. Okay.
hmm So I feel
Okay.
like that whole section there was that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Potentially, yeah.
we have a crowd forms. I don't know if you marked that one out.
I did not mark that because I don't remember a crowd forming.
That was
You
during
said
a
it.
drinking contest. You literally said
Mhm.
a crowd,
Yep, a crowd forms.
forms.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. It's fair. I guess everybody did show up to watch. So.
Yep.
All right.
Yes. I marked cool artifact on the top row, which was our nice model of the universe.
Hmm.
But I
The
suppose
yep.
you could disagree with
Orrery.
artifact.
I don't know that's an artifact.
Yeah, it sounds like she sold all the actual.
Yeah,
artifacts.
that's like anything that was like truly valuable has already been liquidated.
It's cool.
So it is neither old nor is it magical, and I think that artifact implies both of those things, or at least one of those two things, and it's neither.
Okay.
It's neither old nor magical, so I don't. It's a cool object. It's a cool little trinket, but I don't think it's quite to the tier that I would consider that a cool artifact.
And I think that's all the ones that matter.
Okay. Well, it's still a bango, so you still get
Yay.
a blip there. So that's still a reroll for everybody.
Mhm.
And no one used any rerolls today, so we got to bank that one.
Yep.
So I will go ahead and add that right now to everybody's character.
Huzzah.
I mean, usually the only time I end up using a reroll half the time is on Bastion. I swear.
I spent
Don't
most
use them on
time-
him. He's got 26 of the damn.
You
things.
won't use them.
You're correct.
So, like, why wouldn't I? Like, that reasoning does not make sense.
He doesn't need them.
I spend them on Screwy and Grem.
It's
Yeah.
true. You always use them on other people.
Thank you, buddy.
But
I,
with
I want things to succeed.
I know. But with that
Or
is
fail.
everything from tonight's session and our bingo. So thank you all very much for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week for another episode of Check Please.
Oh my
Until
God.
then, good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.